It's your boy Crypto Millie back with another one. This video is specifically like a follow-up to the video that I did make in my Patreon. If you are part of my Patreon, then you already know what I talked about in that video. I kind of dropped the video on the Patreon because I haven't really been making content on the YouTube channel. Because I just, guys, I really just needed a disconnect from not just per se crypto, but just the market in general, right? You know, just getting my thoughts correct as we move into this last portion of the cycle, unless this is a super cycle. But I want to talk about what I'm seeing in the market, my concerns, the hopium, as well as some catalysts that can get us back going. But it's important to note that this video is going to be very, very, very important. So guys, stick to the end. Make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and keep your favorite crypto and door-to-door entrepreneur inside the algorithms. Now, we are seeing red across the market, and it's specifically because of two things, right? First and foremost, there's a, tension, according to Trump, what did he said, that China and USA is going through a trade war, right? And so there's tension, but I would ignore any tweet that affects the market specifically from Trump, because if you look at the time frame of when he tweets, usually the stock market is closed, so this stuff doesn't affect the stock market, but it affects the crypto market. And then in the next 48 to 72 hours, he could post something bullish that can get the market back going. So like, this is very important to note, that we have to ignore the news and understand the psychological warfare with the shakeout, right? This is, everybody's not supposed to make it in crypto, right? And that's one thing that I've been dwelling on the last 48 hours of me not making contact, having an understanding that, it's a reason why only a few people become technically crypto millionaires or crypto rich, as far as like not getting lucky, right? Of course, you can go and get lucky with a leverage trade, a meme coin trade, but I'm talking about diamond hand holders, the people that's been here 2 to 3 years, anticipating, staying loyal to the projects they truly believe in, like the utility. And utility has been getting burnt. We'll be talking about that towards the end of the video, so make sure you stick around. Treasury Secretary Bessent says we are about to see major gains in investment productivity and job growth across America. So they're continuing to shill, and we continue to see this adoption in infrastructure implementations from crypto, right? Like this is the guy that replaced the Gary Gensler, and it seems to be bullish that the economy will come around, right? But again, every time these guys tweet, whether it's bullish or bearish, it has an effect on the market. And I personally tend to ignore the news and focus on what I'm seeing on the charts. That's just my opinion. You guys let me know you guys' opinions inside the comments. Now, this is what I want to talk about, you guys, and make sure that y'all engage in the video, because YouTube has not been showing no love to crypto YouTubers. Like, crypto YouTube is basically dead. Like, you got to go and do other things to make income, because they're not blessing YouTube as far as like crypto, unless you got a major channel, and even their views are struggling as well. So this is from Bar Chart here. It says retail investors just bought over 100 billion worth of stocks over the last month, the largest month retail buy in history. And this comes to kind of combat even my personal thesis that retail isn't in crypto. But one would say retail has been buying stocks. As you can see, stocks here are sitting at all-time highs, and we still are technically bullish if you look at our ultimate RSI indicator by Lux Algo. You can see the QQQ a little overextended, but technically based off our indicator, still bullish. I would have to check out the stock RSI. I haven't checked them out, but as long as we're above this orange line, the momentum 75% of the time continues. So my question is, what are your thoughts on retail? Because some people look at this like, if retail has been an uptick in buying, this could potentially be a top, right? A Q4 top, wherever this top may be or land. Who knows? Nobody knows the exact time it will land. But you can see all the comments saying the same thing. This sounds like a top. Sounds like institutions will be using retail as exit liquidity. And what have we seen every time? Every time the euphoria comes back to crypto, every single time a stupid tweet comes out from the president, like the flip. This is how I know that this is this can't be real, because 2 months ago we were talking about how Trump was bullish for the crypto and digital assets and stocks, and how the main thorn in our ass was Powell, right? And then Powell just came out 2 days ago and said, hey, we are coming to the end. We could possibly be coming to the end of QT, right? And if you look in 13 days, there's a 96% chance of a cut. And then in December, there's a 93% chance of a 0.5 cut. So now Powell is the one that's leading as the catalyst, and Trump, in a way, is kind of holding the market back. Feel free to let me know how you think. But this is an interesting chart, because this tells us that retail has been buying risk assets, just not crypto. And again, you can see the SPDR ETF here. This is the XRT, which kind of measures retail savings. You can see here, it almost went negative, but it bounced off the orange line. So you can see retail savings is pretty strong, but the people were just not buying cryptocurrency. But we are, right? We've been buying with the smart money, anticipating that they will turn the money printer on and retail would eventually have enough money to feel comfortable buying crypto. The problem is they don't have enough money, right? It's like everything is tight. It's like, why would I buy crypto if I got to pay response? Why would I buy crypto if 90% of people are losing money? It just has a negative connotation on it. And I could just sit my money in the S&P or over time and just, make my little small 10%, 20%, whatever, opposed to like losing 90% of my net worth messing around with crypto. So we have to be the change. We have to be the change. I don't know if it's we got to change something. I don't know if it's the trenches. I don't know what it is, right? But we have to change something, which brings me to this interesting tweet here, right? Why 2025 is the most cooked cycle in crypto history. I'm not going to skip the first line. It says, nobody actually believes or holds. That is interesting. Let me know in the comments. Insiders and KOLs are running the show. Agree 110%. I sit here and I watch this all day, and I watch how these KOLs and these influencers destroy charts every single day. I don't truly understand how they are helping crypto, because they just destroy charts, right? There are people in this industry that want to do the right thing. This is why I took a break, because I've been struggling with like the whole pump fund thing. And I'm like, bro, it's I don't know how you win with it, right? I don't know if what's happening with, like, do they automatically have bots that arbitrage as soon as the trade? Because there's allegedly, people say, well, there's alleged that a lot of this shit is already baked in, whether it's as soon as the token launches, the launch pad itself accumulates a lot of the token through bots and are able to slowly bleed these charts unless the right KOLs, unless the right exchange wallets pick it up. But I think people be at these computer screens and they get like notifications of certain things. I don't know what these certain things is, but certain things that tell them which token is a good token and which token is a bad token based on top 10% holdings, bundlers, all of this shit, right? But at the end of the day, this is kind of cooking the altcoin market, and specifically utility tokens. There are utility tokens doing one thing, beautiful things. For example, BitTensor. You can see BitTensor here getting adoption, right? They just dropped the Form 10 for Tau, and this is, and you can apply this to any token right now that has a ETF, Solana, ETH, whatever. When we talk about institution interest, after Form 10 goes in effect, just say after an ETF goes in effect, pension funds can buy, endowments can allocate, RIAs can recommend, 401ks can include, hedge funds and family offices can pull. All this shit can go into these utility tokens because they have the avenue, they have the compliance framework, the vehicles, and the regulatory clarity, but nobody's buying this shit. Nobody's really buying it, which is fine. Institutions buying it. We're buying it. We're the smart money. We're buying it. And eventually we'll be able to offload on the dumb money that comes in late. But it's just crazy how these beautiful things are happening from integration and adoption level, but nobody's buying into it. No new retail left to buy our bags. Institutions only stacking BTC and ETH. I don't agree with that. They're stacking Solana, Tau, and some other utility tokens. Zero innovation. This is an interesting one, right? Because at the end of the day, I was going over some of the things that I was going over some of my older plays, right? My older AI plays, and just the fact that, and I'm talking about, these are AI plays that was like, hyped up. They're building this, building that, all fucking dead. AI agent plays. Solana, you go to Solana, it's like a graveyard of AI plays that just never came around. Literally zero innovation. Now, this is the big one. Everyone's a dev. Why would retail come buy our bags if they can just figure out how to launch tokens? And that's another thing I've been paying attention to. I've noticed that KOLs buy tokens from the same wallets that's launching it. It's like 2 or 3 people. Matter of fact, this guy's, you can see I got it saved right here. For example, serial dev here. This is a guy just launches tokens over and over and over, and he makes his money from dev sales, right? Just 2-3x every time he launches a token. Quick dev sale. Another serial launcher that I've been paying attention to here is Sheep. So yeah, when I'm not making content, I'm doing fucking research. I'm tapping in, and you can see this is a serial launcher. All he does is sit and launch tokens all day, and look at his P&Ls, right? He's like, why would I buy anything utility when I can just sit at my computer and launch tokens all day? Again, zero innovation, everyone's a dead. Everybody wants to be a KOL, bro. Fuck that. It's why would you want to be somebody that's extracting this knowing is just ill? No real builders, just vibe coders and grifters. It's sad, bro. Memes are no longer funny. He has a point. No, new rugs and I'm not gonna talk about it. Market full of nerds, zero edge, and 10 screens. Telegram groups fill of rehab centers. Only utility left is coping together. Interesting. I'm not gonna give an opinion on this, but I want to know you guys' opinion on this. Now, the bullish hope in here is that we don't have any peak bull market indicators going off. Like literally 100% of them have not went off, right? And if we go down to our liquidation heat map, leverage is starting to get shooken out of the market, and you can see here that almost all of our top 100 tokens are starting to reset on the weekly time frame and become oversold. So again, this is bullish because a lot of people are falling into the trap of time capitulation, which is fair because like this market frustrates me. I'm not about to be on here every day acting like everything is okay, because it's not always okay. I am a human being, and I understand from a human being's perspective that this market can be very, very frustrating, right? But these are the things that's happened as far as catalysts, right? So take that into the consideration. We talked about the Fed cuts. We talked about some of the things that can lead us. The fear and greed index is in fear. So technically, if you're a buyer, this is historically the best time to buy. We got possibly 3 rate cuts left in 2025. We're coming to the end of QT. Remember how we talked about paying attention to Jay Powell's body language and his tone and the things that he say. Adoption and infrastructure foundations being built daily. We talked about ETFs, but look at this. We're seeing Sony not only try to run the metaverse, but also banking. Sony's bank subsidiary, Connexia Trust, has applied for a U.S. crypto banking charter to issue dollar-pegged stablecoins and offer digital assets custody service. And you're about to see a lot of banks offering stablecoins, also offering custody service, because they can make money off fees and everything else from people holding crypto through the bank. And guess what? People feel more comfortable holding crypto through a bank than holding crypto on Binance, right? Because, I mean, look, Binance has a negative connotation. Binance founder was locked the fuck up. So people don't want to hold that, right? When you think about that, I mean, Pump Fund was on the news and they talked about Pump Fund is basically a marriage between content and security frauds. Well, wake up. Trump dropped a meme coin, and Trump already came out and said meme coins are collectibles. So I don't know if this is bullish or bearish. I would lean towards bullish because it's like free marketing for Pump Fund, because the things that they said, how they talked about how, you know, normies and people don't even know about crypto are loading up Pump Fund just to create content and then dumping or whatever. What happens is people see this on the news and they're intrigued. Oh man, I want to make money off Pump Fund. I want to create content and make $70,000 in 3 hours, in 3 days and shit like that. So like, I don't know if this bullish or bearish, guys, you let me know, but Pump Fund was on the news, right? And it wasn't because it was good. It wasn't because it was good. You know what I mean? Again, we need good or bad press, because literally retail is just not here. When you think about crypto, the CBBI is telling us that we are losing momentum. We're now sitting at 74. We break 70. Can get a little bearish, but ultimately, right? Ultimately, the major thing here that's kind of like stopping us, besides just the China deal, which we talked about. It was the government. The government is still shut down, right? And this is big chance that it continues to be shut down for the next 30 days. Guys, you got government employees out here doing DoorDash to feed their family. Like, they're not even getting paid. So you got to expect liquidations in the market. Like, if they hold any type of assets, they're going to sell those assets, because right now they're not making any money. The government shut down. Government people ain't making no money. They out here door dashing. So that's another thing that's stopping liquidity and possibly causing selling pressure, because they have to offload risk assets until they figure out how they going to make money. So at first, yeah, the government shutdown is bullish, right? Because we're not getting the stats and J-Pal can't look at the data. But the longer that this goes on, the more it will become painful. The more it will become painful, right? I also, was asking, I don't know if it pulled up, but I asked Polymarket the chance of a recession in 2026, and it gave me my answer right here. And this is cool, man. You can ask Polymark literally anything, right? It says there's a 35% chance of a U.S. recession by the end of 2026. I asked 2026. It said by the end of 2026. So I don't know. I feel like things are tough when I talk to people in the real world. They're like, bro, groceries, I got to pay for groceries. Like, you know what I mean? And then most people know about crypto, but they haven't done their research and they don't understand it. And for the most part, what I get is people say, can I use it as real money? It's 2026. It's almost 2026. People still think like crypto is not real money. So we have room to grow. We still have room for adoption, but we have to remove this negative cloud and this negative connotation. But things like this create hate rallies. When everybody is bearish on an asset, whether you see hate rallies, right? People are looking at pump and they're instantly thinking bearish, but opportunists see the bullish, because now the news is covering pump, which means that it's on people's radar, and this could possibly be some hating ass other platform like Kick. Allegedly, I don't want to say, but some other platform, other one of these platforms, I'm not going to name them. I started to, but I thought about it. Not good to name them. That could possibly be, you know what I'm saying? Throwing a little bit of shade, little hate, you know what I mean? Throwing a little note under the door. Throwing the note under the door. You need to watch this pump fun, you know what I'm saying? But I think the one thing that's the most concerning is the fact that Bitcoin here is under this orange line or the ultimate RSI. Now, when I look at other charts, they're not. The hope here is that the liquidity rotates from gold, silver, and all of this money in the stock market into crypto. That's another catalyst, right? Fed cuts, China-US deal, and the liquidity rotation from the stock market into the crypto market, because we need help right now. Because as long as Bitcoin stays under this orange line on our ultimate RSI on the weekly time frame, there is still a chance that Bitcoin can drop 30%, right? And according to Ben Cowell, if you lose the 50-day moving averages, which is this red line for 2 weeks, normally it's over. If you lose the 200-day, pack it up, right? So we're 50-50, guys. Could this be the top? Possibly. Could we be in a super cycle and extended whatever you want to call it? Possibly as well. Possibly. Right now, the point of this video is that nothing makes sense, which if everybody is confused equals uncertainty. However you want to look at it, confused equals uncertainty, and the market is really weak right now. And anything that goes wrong, whether it's some Trump tweet, whether it's recession, whether it's anything that goes wrong, because we have weakness in the market, because we're in QT, we have that the weakness is there, it can cause wild volatile swings. Upside, downside, upside to the downside, however you look at it. So let the word to the wise be efficient. Until Bitcoin gets back above this orange line, is able to hold this orange line, I am not just concerned for Bitcoin, but I'm concerned for altcoins, because if Bitcoin goes down 5 to 10%, altcoins usually go down 15 to 20%. I think that's it. I think I covered everything. I know that was a lot, guys. I had to get it out. This is what I was talking about. This is Psychedelic talking about the rotation from the stock market into Bitcoin. But let me know y'all thoughts. This was a very, very jam-packed video. Let me know y'all thoughts. How do y'all feel about cryptocurrency in the state of cryptocurrency. And, you know, everybody's talking about gold at all-time highs. So that's another catalyst. Maybe that liquidity from gold, right? Gold has added 300 billion to its market cap. That's literally, it's adding Bitcoin's market cap in a whole week, which is crazy. We need that liquidity, gold. Come tap in, rotate that liquidity. Will retail and smart investors rotate their liquidity into crypto and Bitcoin? That's the question. Let me know in the comments. It's your boy Crypto Millie. I'll see you next one. I'll try to go live, guys. I'll try to go live. But again, I'm all about energy. And if my energy is right, I don't want to record. But if I'm feeling good, I will go live. And that's crazy, man, that I had to be patient for this whole pump fund token thing. And it was a good thing that I was patient, because you see what's going on in the market. Like the streamer coins has gotten absolutely wrecked. Pump fund on the news for the wrong fucking reasons. And patience is a virtue. Sometimes you just gotta have patience and let things play out. It's your boy Crypto Millie. I'll see you in the next one.